Welcome back to another edition of the Pitch Putt Puff podcast. My name is Roger, aka RGB. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Before we get rolling, though, got to give a shout out to my sponsor, 420 Bliss, located at 740 Hoosick Road in Troy, New York, located right in the Walmart Plaza. Make sure you stop in there, check them out. Let them know the Pitch Putt and Puff crew sent you. Also, check out Trouble Off the Tee. Use promo code RGB for 15% off site-wide. And then it's limited time only. We got buy one, get one free on the polos, promo code PUFF. But tonight, got a real cool guest. Appreciate him taking the time. The host of We Don't Smoke the Same, High and Hungry. We got E-Zone in the house. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, man? Thank you so much for having me, man. I know it's been a wild chase, but I'm here, brother.
Hey, man, I was just trying not to be annoying, if anything, bro. That's all. That's all. I
No,
appreciate
not at all, man. You know, it's just timing. When you're in this business, it's just like timing is everything, bro. Like as you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, because there's times like I got a lot of guys like I've interviewed like Brian Athey, and he's hooked me up with a lot of people on the West Coast in the golf world. So it's been
Yeah,
pretty
he's
cool.
like me. He's like Mr. Golf. Like he's Joe. He's trying to be Mr. Golf, but like yeah, that's the homie. I can't get into the sport, bro. I've tried. I just don't have the hip. I don't know what it is. But
Yeah.
it's definitely good. I like the perks that come with it. Like you guys eat good. You know, there's always good food. There's beer.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. I would
Yeah.
just be that homie that'll be like, just let me drive the car, dude. I'll be smoking in here, bro.
That's how I was in high school. The two kids I played with in high school went to college to play golf. And I was a baseball player, so I didn't really give a shit about golf at the time.
Was it like Asian kids?
Nah, it's a couple white dudes. And I ended up by the third hole, I was just smoking and drinking and just enjoying the nice day out because I was so bad. I ran out of golf balls and everything else. But then I got older. I couldn't do basketball, football, baseball no more, running around chasing everybody. So I just got into the golf. Nice
Yeah,
leisure.
you think your 20s are gonna last for a while, for a long time, man, and you think but then shit starts hurting. Like I mean, as you know, my co-host Xavier, he's a little bit younger than me, but he thinks that little bit goes a long way. So I'm just like, hey, bro, I was like, sooner or later that check engine light's gonna come on, and it's gonna be just like that car after you had it for 5 years, and it's gonna be hard to get rid of that light. So you better get it early.
Absolutely. Shit, man. I'm 40. Life hit me hard about 36. I had open heart surgery. I had a bypass.
Ooh.
So I hear you guys talk about shit like that on the pod sometimes. And I'm like, damn, I just want to call in and be like, yo, life's too short, man. You got to appreciate everything you got and let it rock from there, man. Take
Yeah,
advantage of
man.
every opportunity. But
I'm definitely, I'm a very emotionally invested person, bro. That's the reason I'm very reserved with a lot of people, man. Cause it's like whatever I'm involved with, bro. Like I'm passionate about it, bro. So it's like when shit goes wrong, bro. It's like I try not to be like such a volatile person, bro. But it's like fuck, man. When you're passionate about shit, you're just like fuck, man. It's all or nothing.
that's it. That's kind of where I'm at right now with the podcast. Like I was telling XG when he was on, like you guys were kind of an influence to what I was trying to do.
Excuse me.
And you guys were an influence to me because watching you guys, and I had to figure out an avenue in the golf world because there's a lot of golf podcasts, but there's not golf and weed podcasts. So I see what you guys are doing. You're out there hustling constantly. You got the High and Hungry, the We Don't Smoke the Same. You're working with Dr. Green Thumb. Like you're always doing something. And like I kind of said to myself too at the point, like, why not me? Like, why do I put down the video games and boom, like that's literally I got motivated to like do shit and not
You
waste time.
put you put down the video games, and I want to pick them up. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I feel like it's a lot to handle, man. But I mean, honestly, like it's crazy that you give me the perspective, letting me know that there's a weed audience in the golf world, bro. Because I honestly look at that as like not for nothing, man. Like just I've always looked at it as like, hey, man, that's just like a rich man sport, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like I look at like a rich man's drugs. I'm like, there's not that many of them I can get. You know what I mean? So it's like I'd rather just not get involved. But I like now that you tell me that, it's like Brian was telling me the same thing.
Mm-hmm. So the thing is now, in like the past 5 or 6 years, I'd say the golf game has really changed in the aspect of like it is the old white guy sport, but now it's starting to get a little bit more casual. You're getting like the YouTube golfers are starting to become more popular sometimes than the regular PGA Tour golfers.
They're trying to become the Jake Pauls of the golf world.
Kinda, yeah. And you got some guys like that. Like there's a group, Country Club Adjacent. They go up there when someone's at the tee box. Like Caitlyn Jenner was at the tee box, and they're trying to distract them. So they're like, "Hey, Caitlyn, don't you miss when you could just turn around and take a piss, like kind of thing, like piss in the woods, like just stupid shit like that. They're roasting Trump, like when that starts bringing attention to the YouTube golfers, and that's kind of like I wanted to do a podcast. It was either going to be conspiracy, sports in general, but I was like, all right, let me mix two worlds in one, and this is how it all started for me. It's just been an interesting grind, to be honest with you.
You
Because
know,
I got
it's in the beginning, man. The one thing I can tell you, man, is that like you gotta let your presence be known in the circle that you have around you, bro. Like what you really need is like a good solid 25 people to make everything go off, bro. It's like a 25 theory, bro. 25 by 25 by 25, but you need 25 people that are down for you, 25 people that are willing to pay and support and do something, and
mm-hmm.
those 25 people will tell 25 more people, and then it'll keep on growing from there. Then that's what a lot of people try to skip, bro. A lot of people get discouraged when they're like, oh, it's a slow process, this is and that. It's like, hey man, like you know how long it took to build a big foundation, you know?
Right, right. Because how you've been doing what? We don't smoke the same and high and hungry for how long now?
I've been doing that for quite a while, man. Like I've been doing We Don't Smoke the Same for like going on 6.5 years. I mean, I was doing it when I had Shiki as a co-host,
Yeah.
and I was trying to do it by myself as well. And High and Hungry, I think we're going on about 5 years, or going on 5 or 6 years, and that's one of my like labor of love, because it's like a lot of places. Excuse me for a second, man. There's a lot going on in the studio.
You're good, buddy.
I
It's
don't
grass.
know. It's
It
like
was crazy.
the one fucking time I gotta fucking do some shit, man. It's just like everybody wants to, like they
It's
need
all
me.
good, man. It's all
Yeah,
good. But
man.
yeah,
So as
high
I
and
was
hungry.
yeah, so as I was telling you, man, High and Hungry is just one of those things that's like become like a labor of love for me, where it's just like, because the food influencer world has become very, I want to say it's overwhelmed with a lot of creatives, which is very good, but it's a lot of people kind of like making money for like the minimal thing, man. And it's like, I've always felt, I was like, we've always given a lot of places, like, you know what I mean, like a really solid production. And to be honest, man, like I said, it's a labor of love, because when we choose a place to do High and Hungry at, like we choosing it because we love it, bro. Like we want to get involved. Like the only thing we ask is for you guys to take care of us.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes in the beginning, and even then, sometimes you'll have like a lot of places where I'm just like, hey man, I feel like you kind of take this opportunity for granted. Or a lot of places are kind of hesitant because cannabis still has that has that frowned upon, and they don't see the value in it. But it's a big market where like a lot of the mainstream really fails to realize that like food and weed go hand in hand together.
That's
You
it.
know what I mean? Like it's
Absolutely.
the munchies are one of the things that will make somebody overspend at your restaurant, if anything, or just become a fan, or just indulge in certain memories, because you're enjoying it on such a different level. But
Right.
eventually, like what I want to do with that, and Ray is my partner with that. That's our trademark baby and all that stuff. Um, like we want to eventually take it to like a bigger screen, like I love being on B-Roll TV, and I love being on YouTube, stuff like that, but I want to be able to stream some of the other seasons to like maybe like a Tubi, or
Yeah.
or Amazon or something like that.
Absolutely. That's where you just got to start. But it's funny you say that with the restaurants, even with the cannabis, because I'm trying to do something similar just in the golf world. So like go to golf courses and do reviews of the golf course, and do an interview with like the owner or the pro at the course kind of thing. And
Yeah.
I've gotten some good feedback, and I've gotten some pushback, like, oh, we can't do that because of the cannabis and such. But some people are like, that's a great idea. That's an avenue we've never touched before. Let's do it. So in New York, it just became legalized like 2 years ago. So it's a slow roll of people being comfortable with it, kind of thing. It's just a
Yeah, I mean,
process.
I feel like it's mostly like the older generations that really kind of have like, because you've been hearing it for a long time. You hear it for so long, you start believing all the bullshit that you were told. So it's kind of hard to erase that. It's kind of like it's kind of like it's encrypted to you like a traumatic experience would be. So it's very hard to change those kind of stigmas. But I feel that with that crowd becoming more fragile and becoming more needy of certain medicines, and seeing how fucked up America's healthcare system is, and there's
Hmm.
no solution in the cure, people find some kind of I guess leniency, or they find a cannabis to lean on, because it's like it's just enough to maintain, in a lot of cases, in very rare cases, because like it heals,
Yeah. And
not very rare cases, but I mean it's like you just can't, like, if you have a tumor, you just can't think I'm gonna take so much RSO and it's gonna get rid of it, because hey man, the chances of that happening, it's a struggle,
right.
it's a process, and depending on how severe everybody's situation is, like, it's not always like a victory dance at the end.
That's right.
So a
So
lot
I
of
watched your episode with Farmers are King, right? Live to Serve or whatever. I
yeah,
forget the guy.
with brother Byrne, right?
Yep, yep. So my
Yeah.
buddy, a good friend of mine's father's dealing with some cancer issues. Dude, this guy was never supposed to go back to work. He was never like supposed to like drive again, kind of thing. Like he was in real rough shape. Byrne sent me a package, started doing it. He went to his doctor's appointment. Like he had a huge tumor on his throat. They couldn't find it. They couldn't feel it. So they had to like wait to do a scan to see what's going on. So like I don't like, bro, I don't know
And
what, it's
I,
crazy.
I'm very glad to hear that, bro. That makes me happy to hear that, man. And it's, like we do a lot of dumb shit here on the show here, and we do talk about a lot of stupid shit. Some people might say it's like very offensive to an extent to some people, because they don't know how to take jokes.
Right.
But like I love taking pride in those type of instances where we do have people that have found some kind of relief and something we've talked about, like, for example, like my friend who's a dad dealing with his son having cancer and having to
Yeah.
deal with that. I know that he's not the only one out there, and he's been able to connect with other fathers out there. Brother Burns been able to help a lot of other people that are undergoing a lot of cancer treatment like that. And you know what I mean, even on the spiritual side, my godmother comes here all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of people that are in the chat room that have seek some kind of, they got spiritual questions, and they found some kind of answers they were looking for. I don't
Right.
know what those answers may be, but I've heard those people hit me back and say, "Hey, thank you so much. I was going through like a rough patch, and I just,
Yeah.
I got my spiritual back adjusted, if you may say."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's true. Like there is like, and it's not like even some of the crazy guests you have on, like the animal dude you had on the one time. I learned
Yeah.
so much from that dude that I did not know before. And it's just you guys
And
bullshit and having a good time, but you learn shit too.
because I guess when you smoke weed like so much, a lot of people are self-conscious with everything they do, because everything, people have such a stigma around it, so they kind of think, they're like, why am I going to try doing this, or why can't I do this? I feel like that's why the content that, like, at least like the content, speaking for myself, the content I try to make is, I'm just like, you guys know that I'm always stoned to like the highest level, and I'm
Yeah.
able to function 100%, and regardless of what people think, if I go stinking up a theater or not, you know what I mean? I'm still
Yeah.
out here documenting these things. I'm still out here doing my things and going through ups and downs, and doing all that.
You're still smoking 18 to 20 a day?
Uh not like not I want to say it's more like 15.
There you go. Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm probably about three at most. Mostly the nightcap. Um, what's it like working with Be Real and all those guys in the studio?
Honestly, it's been probably one of the biggest like learning experiences in the positive way. It's kind of like having access to like a 24-hour teacher, in a sense, bro, that has been through so much and can like kind of just, it's an all around teacher, bro. They can teach you about life,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, and they can teach you about the industry and teach you about other things as well. And at first it starts off as just like a job, but then it's like being here so much. You guys see I mean, a lot of you guys know that we kind of have like this father son relationship going on, and I'm blessed to have that, man, because like it's to having an OG like that always look out for you,
Yep.
or always try to steer you in the right direction, or try to let you know what he thinks is best for you. It's a great input to have, man.
Mm-hmm. And it's smart too. Like it's on your part. You're you're smart enough to take that knowledge and not be like, oh fuck it, no, I'm gonna do it my own way. You're taking that knowledge and doing the right thing with it, where a lot of people wouldn't do that.
I mean, I listened to myself at a very young age, bro. So I learned a lot by mistakes, bro. And I was like, yeah, listening to yourself. Maybe try listening to somebody who's lived. You
Yep.
know, thankfully,
Absolutely.
none of those mistakes were like detrimental or anything.
Right.
Or jeopardizing my freedom.
Yep. Yep. Um, what's what I was just gonna say? So, how was Japan? You went out to Japan twice. How was that trip?
I loved it, bro. Like honestly, like
When does
Like,
We Don't Smoke the Same move out to Japan? Basically, at that point.
I mean, look, bro. Like, honestly, bro, that's kind of turned into like my safe haven, bro. That's kind of turned into like my safe haven, bro. Like, where, all right, bro. Like, I kind of like this is kind of like a utopia for me. I'm
Yeah.
kind of scared of like the excessive amount of tourism that's gone over there because the Japanese don't play that shit. Like, if they see that the tourism is fucking up their ecosystem, they're like, hey, bro, we're gonna close the doors, and they have been doing that. And because unfortunately, not everybody knows how to act, you know.
Right. Absolutely. See that up here in New York. I mean, I'm outside of the city, but I do go down to the city often, and it's craziness, man. It's absolute just this trash. And I mean, we don't have the homeless problem like you guys do out there because it's cold. But if it was, if it wasn't cold, we'd have that same issue out here. Absolutely. What's coming up for you guys with High Hungry? We Don't Smoke the Same.
Um, Hold on, give me a second.
Sure.
Repeat the question. Repeat that.
What's coming up for you guys? Like, what should the people expect to see from like High and Hungry? We Don't Smoke the Same in the future.
So there's a new season of High and Hungry that's premiering this Friday, which is I want to say it's not the week of 420, but it's the week of the 15th.
It's this
So
week, I think, right?
yeah, it's this week. So that's going to be out there on Be Real TV, starting it off with the Food and Wine Festival at Disneyland, and that's going to kick off the season of High and Hungry in production. And just expect 12 new episodes. Also, too, I want to say for We Don't Smoke, so I want to work that, and then for sure merch. I'm really getting indulged with the merch. Flavorsbyezone.com. That's
Yep.
the merch where that's where all my merch is at. All High and Hungry merch, the one-stop shop for everything. You
Yo,
never
and
know.
every one of those orders I've ever got from you has been hooked up. So tune into
That
that for sure.
people don't know, man. I'm telling you, people are gonna cry when I get a fulfillment center.
Everyone.
I have to pay them because I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm no longer doing it. You know.
Right.
But yeah,
I
and
got
for
one of
We Don't
these
Smoke
bad
the
boys
Same,
in there. The
huh?
old hit kit. I got one of these bad boys in there.
That's right, man. Those things come in clutch.
So I had to get
And
my
then
own though.
that's right, dude. Hey, shout out to the Hit Kit, man. They're dope. I was gonna say, for We Don't Smoke the Same, we're doing something really dope. So we're kind of doing an episode. Well, we're not doing an episode. We're doing a live comedy show once a month. The first one's gonna be kicking off Cinco de Mayo. Unfortunately, Rock or Xavier will not be there because they're going to be out of town, but I didn't want to leave anything out of there. It's going to be a very intimate venue. Yes, you can smoke. Yes, you could purchase munchies, and you could purchase my pen next door, which is connected to a dispensary. So shout out to the Higher Path. That's Cinco de Mayo and I believe June 14th. So it's going to be a monthly thing. So
Okay.
tickets will sell out. And the only way you get access to these shows is going to be through Patreon. So that $5 a month goes a long way, and it's first come, first serve. Surprise lineup as always, but definitely you guys know we know a lot of our friends, so we know some killers out there when it comes to comedy. And not to
Oh, yeah.
mention, I've been working on a lot of new material as well. I'm in a place where I feel cool enough to go up there and do my thing, you know?
Yeah. No, dude. Literally though, I've been watching the show for probably, I don't know, maybe a little over 3-4 years now, and once you got back from Japan, it was like you get a reset. Like you come back fresh. You're like reset. You're energized. You're ready to go. Like because you took time off from comedy, and then all of a sudden I seen you around for April Fool's Day for George's birthday. I seen you
Yeah,
up on stage.
it was some time off for comedy, bro, but it always works as a reset. And the hardest thing that I have when I come back is literally maintaining that energy. You know what I'm saying? Like maintaining that energy and kind of like protecting that light because that light does run out in like an LA type of environment, depending on where you go. You mean you don't already know how the industry may be.
Yep, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Um, where can people find you, man? I appreciate you taking the time. I really do. Let you plug up here and let you get back with your day, man. I don't want to take too much more of your time.
No worries, man. I do have to do the Green Thumb show, but thank you so much. You guys make sure you guys follow number one, the pitch and it's hard to pronounce the pitch putt
Yo,
and
I
putt
love
podcast.
it.
Pitch Putt and Puff podcast. Make sure you guys check them out. For all the gear, go to flavorsbyezone.com. I'm always working on a lot of stuff, bro. One of my first aspirations was to be into the fashion game, and then I found out how cutthroat it really is. So I got into something even more crazier, which is the entertainment game. I get to do creative stuff on like as like my store is like my leisure and hobby kind of thing, and it works out
Yep.
very well. So to everybody who supports. You can find us at over 30 stores all over Southern California with Propan. So all the catalysts, and I always have a video of playing in my podcast follow the We Don't Smoke the Same podcast on Instagram, on Patreon. That's where you get access to a lot of stuff. So the We Don't Smoke the Same podcast is on Patreon. Join us for just $5. You get access to so much and a lot of exclusive content where definitely make it worth it. High and Hungry TV is an Instagram for High and Hungry. The episodes premiere this Friday, starting on Be Real TV. And follow my Instagram as always. It's Flavors by Ezone. One of my side businesses is doing the resale thing, so I do a little thrifting, and follow me on Whatnot, which is Flavors by Ezone. I know it's quite a lot, bro, but I stay busy, bro.
Yo, you stay busy though, man. Stay busy. That's what you got to do. I really appreciate you taking the time. Hang on here for a second. I want to talk to you about something real quick. But truly appreciate you taking the time and everybody tuning in. Thank you.